From one of the most electric atmospheres in the National Hockey League, we welcome you to Rogers Place here in Edmonton for Game 2 of Round 1 as the Oilers play host to the Anaheim Ducks for the second time in this series. Oilers come in with a 1-0 series lead, looking to extend it on the road. Anaheim looking to respond to even this series up at a game apiece. Connor McDavid escapes the pack. Nugent Hopkins to the inside, disrupted on his way through, and Anaheim gets it out of harm's way on the initial turn. Bill Lauren will bring it up through center before he's disrupted on his way through. Ryan Nugent Hopkins has the puck along the near side. Escaped by Gauthier. He cuts inside. Denied by Ingram. And what a start through the first 50 seconds of this game. Connor Ingram gets the stop on the breakaway of Cutter Gauthier. Face-off controlled by the Ducks. Lacombe shot snared by Ingram. Not even a minute in, and two excellent stops for Connor Ingram in between the pipes for Edmonton. Face-off this time controlled by the Oilers. Game one in this building, a 1-0 series lead for Edmonton. Podkolzin, a shot knocked down, and it goes into the corner. Cutter Gauthier able to disrupt, kept alive by Kapanen. Draisaitl loses it. Trouba takes it away for Anaheim. Here's Carlson up ahead, feeds it in deep. First guy to it is Darnell Nurse. Comes to the outside and Podkolzin. Edmonton back through center ice. Podkolzin walks it in, fires, tried to at least. Good hit on the way. Podkolzin keeps it alive. Ryder wins the race for the puck, and Edmonton has to backtrack. 2 shots on goal early for the Ducks. Just 1 for the Oilers. Henrique button hooks back. Drops it off for Nurse, who might have gotten tripped there. No whistle. We play on. Henrique off a skate. And Trouba back through center ice. Trouba drops it off for Granlund. A shot knocked down by Ingram. Goes into the corner. Majapane can't handle, but Henrique picks out the loose change. Henrique back outside Majapane. Drops it off to the point and Emberson. Now Nurse cuts inside. Down low Henrique. Denied by Dostal. And a stoppage with 16:56 to go in the opening period. Just underway. And already action on both ends of the ice. Oilers keep it on this side. Stastny and Emberson play catch. Here's Howard, who backhand flips it in, and Dostal finds the puck. 3 early shots on goal for both of these teams. Face-off control by Edmonton. On the point, Stastny. He can't handle, foots to Majapane. Floats it in off of a player out in front of the net. Big hit. Edmonton can't keep it in. Zellweger clears the zone. Floats back around for Stastny. Here is Lazar. To the near side, Majapane. Drops it off for Lazar. Majapane got popped, and Zellweger is there for the recovery. Through center comes Terry. Now Nestorenko. Fires a shot, save off the blocker of Ingram. Emberson gets back to it. Edmonton back out to center. Savoy floats it to Lazar. He's bobbled on his way in. Terry takes it away from behind. Nestorenko dangles on his way in, and Ingram sprawls out to make the save, and a stoppage with 15:20 to go in the opening period. Here's that big hit by Gudis. Physical start to this game here in Edmonton. Oilers lead the series 1-0 here in Game 2. Face-off controlled by Edmonton. Here's Zach Hyman through center to the near side. Evan Bouchard. Centering pass is picked off. And Johnston back for center here for the Ducks. Ekholm turns back. Here's Hyman. Splits defenders. Hyman down the slot. Takes it in. Denied by Dostal. Rebound comes just wide. My goodness, he came right in like a firecracker. Anaheim works it in their own end. Along the far half wall, it's Johnston who can't handle. Goes in back behind. Big hit by Johnston. Off the boards, up ahead. Harkins here for Anaheim. Harkins, pulling shot, sticked aside by Ingram. Goes into the corner. Anaheim keeps it alive. Harkins off the blocker with a penalty. And this one's going to be on Edmonton for a hold. Matthias Ekholm, the guilty party, with the hold along the wall. And there it is right there. Official didn't like it. Early power play here for the Ducks. And a spike of the water bottle as well. So an early power play here for Anaheim, looking to crack the scoreboard first. Ducks win the faceoff. Lacombe fires, snuck down by Ingram. And the rebound controlled by the Oilers, who clear. Already 8 shots on goal for Anaheim. Carlson up ahead to Sinecki, who will start the break in. He's pestered from behind by Podkolzin, who flips it up and out. All the way down the length of the ice. Lacombe pinned along the boards, back behind the net. Floats in on Dostal, who stops play with 1:25 to go on the penalty. Face-off here in the Anaheim end. Short-handed for the Oilers. They win the face-off. Emberson fires. Dostal gloves it down. And he stops play once more. Minute 19 to go on the power play here for Anaheim. Kreider feeds it up to Terry, who brings it in quickly. Terry tried to center himself. Good defense by Edmonton. Stastny will clear. Good PK to this point, halfway through the penalty now. Anaheim works it in their own end. Now back out to center and Kreider. Kreider cuts inside to the slot. Loose puck. And controlled by Edmonton. Stastny up ahead. A bobble. And this might be delayed offsides. No whistle. Gauthier gains control. And Anaheim turns back with just under 30 seconds to go on the power play. Floats in on Ingram, who kicks it down and stops play with 23 seconds to go. .23 seconds to go on the power play, controlled by Anaheim. One-timer, glove down, Ingram. 17 seconds to go on the penalty. Entertaining start, just under 8 minutes gone by. Trouba off a body, right in on the doorstep. Carlson never got it through, and an errant pass might kill off this penalty for Edmonton. Race for the puck, Anaheim gets back, but Edmonton now back to full strength. McTavish survives the hit. Got hit again by Darnell Nurse, keeps it alive, drops it off a shot off of the blocker of Ingram. Battle for it in the corner, Kapanen escapes the pack. Here's Connor McDavid. Up ahead to Ekholm. Ekholm off a skate. Good defense by Zellweger. Carlson with the puck up ahead. McTavish. McTavish surrounded by Oilers. Goes to the corner. Tried to drop it off out in front. Good stick by Darnell Nurse. Connor McDavid pestered in his own end. Turns it over, at least briefly. Back out to center with McDavid. Picked off by Zellweger in center ice. McTavish takes a hit. Ekholm brings it into the zone for Edmonton. Drops it off for McDavid. Never got a clean shot off. And Anaheim back through center ice. Johnston flips it in. Off the boards, taken away by Anaheim. Darnell Nurse now has it. Johnston with the pickoff in center ice. Gudas gains control in center. Takes a big hit. Keeps it alive, though. Downstairs, Johnston. Outside, McTavish, score! Tic-tac-toe! And Anaheim breaks the ice in the opening period. Beautiful puck movement by the Ducks. And they get it past Connor Ingram for the game's first goal. The Ducks lead 1-0 here on the road. So Anaheim with an early lead here at Rogers Place at the halfway point of this opening period. Stastny takes it away up ahead. Roslovic brings it in. Dostal with the save. 9:41 to go. 7 shots on goal for Edmonton. 11 now for Anaheim with that goal moments ago. Face-off controlled by Anaheim. Roslovic with a hit, but kept alive by Carlson. Disrupted in center ice. And it floats into the Edmonton end where Emberson is there for it. Here is Henrique. Outside to Howard. Howard brings it up, drops it off. Henrique on the doorstep. Roslovic denied by Dostal. Face-off control by Anaheim in their own end. Ducks lead 1-0 here in the opening period. Nestorenko works it in down low, out in front. Helson cuts inside, never got through. And Savoy back out to center ice here for Edmonton. Shielded on his way in, dropped it off to no man's land. Terry there, here for the Ducks. Floats deep into the Anaheim end. Oilers will get there first. Emberson. Good cutoff. And Hellenson takes it away. Nestorenko tried to cut inside. Good stick by Emberson on his way in. Granlund keeps it alive. On the wing, Granlund turns it over to Lazar, left wing circle. Savoy across the red line. Stastny now with it. Walks it into the zone. Stastny a shot. Saved by Dostal. 7:42 to go. Opening period. Fireworks already here in Edmonton. Game 2 of this series. The Oilers leading 1-0, but Anaheim the lead here in game 2. Evan Bouchard on the wing, Kapanen. Podkolzin now wide of the net. And it circles around to the near half wall. Poling gets hit. Turns it over to Draisaitl. And it goes to the far side where Anaheim gains control. Poling back through neutral ice. Feeds it in deep. Evan Bouchard, first guy to it here for Edmonton. And Podkolzin will get it out of the zone. Hit from behind by Harkins, who takes it away. And then Podkolzin says, nope, that's mine. Draisaitl with a bobble as they work it through neutral ice. Right in front of the Oiler bench. It floats deep into the zone. Anaheim gets there. Lacombe out in front. Harkins. Good block out in front by Bouchard. Never got through on Ingram. Back out to center. Here's Zach Hyman. Hyman walks it in. Good stick by Johnston, who takes it away. Poling with a bobble through center. Howard turns back here for the Oilers. Floats it in on Dostal. Trouba there defensively for the Ducks. Deeper into the Anaheim zone now. Ducks gain control. Lacombe will exit. Turns it over to Emberson. Cross ice to Howard. Howard walks it in. Here's Nugent Hopkins on the doorstep. What a stop! Dostal right there makes the save and keeps it a 1-0 game. My goodness. Bodies flying everywhere. Hyman laid out to try to knock that one in. Oh my goodness. What a stop by Dostal to keep it out. Regula inside Roslovic with a bobble. That one off of Dostal. Back out to the point. Darnell Nurse sends it in. On the doorstep, that was Roslovic who let it fly, and Dostal makes another save. Dostal has made a few good saves already in this game. This one, Roslovic tried to turn and fire in between the legs And Dostal still finds it, kicks it down at the last moment. .5:10 to go, opening period. Face off in the Anaheim end. .12 shots on goal for Edmonton, 11 for Anaheim. Ducks lead 1-0. Gauthier drops it off for Gudas, a shot off a body, rebound Nurse. Henrique back through center ice. Hits a Duck player as he feeds it in. First guy to it is Roslovich. Out in front, a whiff. Regula now wide of the net. Comes to the near side, kept alive by Darnell Nurse. Feeds it in deep again. Henrique down there in the trapezoid. Roslovich escapes, wraparound chance out in front, a whiff. And McTavish gets it out of the zone. Oilers change as Henrique brings it back in. Nestorenko with a good stick. Under 4 minutes to go, opening period. McTavish takes a hit. Nestorenko keeps it alive, and Ingram denies that shot attempt. Face-off control by Anaheim. Hellison wide of the net. Nurse feeds it up to Nugent Hopkins, paid the price at the end of it. McDavid back to Nugent Hopkins, fires a shot, saved. Dostal gloves it down after a bobble. Face off in the Anaheim end, just over 3 minutes to go here in the opening period. Ducks will get it out of the zone again. Kreider will walk it up. Pestered on his way in. Good defense by Bouchard. Oilers work it in their own end. Here's Nugent Hopkins working with McDavid. 2-on-1. McDavid denied Dostal. Works it in out in front. Another save. Dostal. Ellison takes a hit. Nugent Hopkins hits the deck. And Anaheim back out to center ice. McTavish floats it in deep. Ekholm there for the Oilers. Here's Kapanen. Brings it in, good stick. Ellison takes it away here for Anaheim. Kapanen keeps it in the zone. Bouchard fires a shot, saved. Dostal once more. 16 saves in the period for Dostal. 2:02 to go, opening period. Emberson takes it away at the red line. Crowd trying to get this team back into it. Nestorenko to Terry, who breaks away. Denied by Ingram. Good defense by Mangiapane. Savoy now with it. 2-on-1 back the other way. Here's Lazar, who can't handle the pass. And Granlund turns back. Emberson Pindle on the boards, gets knocked down. Nestorenko denied on the doorstep. Connor Ingram makes the save with 1:06 to go. Both goaltenders have made some good saves in this opening period. Ingram gave up the one goal earlier to McTavish. But other than that, it's been two brick walls in between the pipes. 16-15 in favor of Edmonton on shots on goal. Just over a minute to go in the period. Kapanen will bring it in. Draisaitl now with it. Right down the slot, denied by Dostal. Back behind Podkolzin. He's Pendle on the boards. Lacombe gets there for Anaheim. Podkolzin doing his best to keep it alive. But Killorn gets the loose change. 26 seconds to go in the period. Fed in deep by Anaheim. And back behind the net. Gauthier gets there. Gauthier Pendle on the boards in the trapezoid by Stastny. A lot of bodies in there as it floats out to Draisaitl. 5 seconds to go in the period. Kapanen in center ice. 2 seconds. 1. Podkolzin shot knocked down by Dostal. That'll do it for the opening period. The lone goal belongs to McTavish in Anaheim. They lead 1-0 here in Game 2. We welcome you back to Edmonton for the start of the second period. Anaheim leads 1-0. Here as we start the second. Oilers lead the series 1-0, but it's Anaheim who has the advantage after one period of play, and we're back underway. Cutter Gauthier brings it in before he's cut off. And here's Nugent Hopkins who turns back to the near side, and Hyman who's offsides. Some scores around the NHL in real life. In Minnesota, the Stars and the Wild. The Wild have a 3-2 lead at the end of the second. This game in real life has the Ducks leading 3-2 with 5:40 to go in the second period. And the other game that already happened earlier today, the Flyers take a 3-0 series lead over Pittsburgh with a 5-2 win. Evan Bouchard loses it. Anaheim gains control. Trouba gets there here for the Ducks. Killorn will bring it in. Centers to Carlson. Good stick. Out of play it goes. 18:55 to go. Just underway here in the second period. Anaheim the lone goal in the game, courtesy of McTavish. And a 1-0 Ducks lead, looking to even this series at a game apiece. Podkolzin will bring it in. Centering pass on the doorstep. Draisaitl never got through. And Anaheim will clear. Hampinen right back in. Takes it in and then loses it down low. Anaheim back out to center ice. Seneke. Right wing circle. Seneke. Good block out in front. Nurse got popped. Regula right on the doorstep. Out in front. Watch out. Ingram sprawls out and never got in. And Podkolzin back out to center ice. Here's Kapanen on the other end, floats it in, rebound, goes wide of the net, kept alive by Regula. Penalty called, a one-timer, touched by Anaheim, and an Oiler power play upcoming. It's another hold. And this one on Drew Hellison. Podkolzin got pinned along the boards, Hellison the guilty party, and Edmonton with a power play trying to tie this game up. Power play for Edmonton, trailing by 1. Kept alive by McDavid, swatted away, and it comes into the corner. Henrique, out in front, wide of the net, Bouchard, kept in by McDavid, who pesters and now floats back out. Bouchard gets back for it. Savoy brings it back in. Henrique, outside Roslovic, denied, rebound, Dostal finds the puck. Minute 29 to go on the man advantage here for the Oilers. They win the faceoff on the point. Bouchard lets it fly, tip try, and the rebound, it's sitting there, and it comes out. My goodness, Edmonton couldn't tuck it home. McDavid brings it back in, centering Savoy, a shot, score! Matthew Savoy, the power play goal, tied at 1 in Edmonton. Playoff hockey, baby. Top shelf, a power play goal. Gets it past Dostal. And the equalizer here in the second. Another assist for Connor McDavid. His 5th point already. Not even halfway through the second game of the playoffs, and he's already got 5 points. And the equalizer for Edmonton. Terry feeds it in. Back behind Bouchard, his own net. Edmonton turns back off the boards. Up ahead, McDavid. Watch out here. McDavid tried to feed it in. Good stick by Gudas. He turns back here for the Ducks. Up ahead, Granlund. Granlund sends it in on Ingram, who swats it away. McDavid there for the rebound. Here's Zach Hyman through neutral ice. Flips it to the far corner. Zellweger takes a hit from McDavid, but keeps it alive. Floats back out to center where Bouchard is waiting for it. Hyman Pindle on the boards. Roslovic brings it into the Anaheim zone, looking for a center. Back behind the net, Henrique. Battle for it in the trapezoid. Zellweger escapes the pack with it. And Johnston brings it back out. Johnston up the far side. Drops it off for Harkins. A shot off a body. And it floats back out wide. Kept alive. McTavish back to Harkins. One-timer off a body. The rebound into the slot. Hack and whack in the middle. And Ingram finds the puck. Face-off controlled by Edmonton, at least for the moment. Race for the puck. Lacombe takes a hit. Majapani has it, and back out to center comes Savoy. Savoy drops it off Majapani. Waits for his friends. Drops it off Savoy with a bobble. He got popped! Majapani on the doorstep, denied by Dostal. Big hits, bodies flying everywhere. Harkins now on the other end. Centering pass, kicked away by Ingram. Never got through on the shot. And Emberson brings it back through center ice. Dragging the toe is Savoy. Savoy drops it off Lazar. Back behind the net. Out in front, Majapani. Denied Dostal. 13:31 to go in the period. Here's a look at Jacob Trouba. That big hit that we were just raving about. Savoy got absolutely leveled. Nearly led to a chance, though, for Edmonton. Good save by Dostal right after that. And a face-off here in the Anaheim end. Ryder across the red line here for the Ducks. Outskates one man, drives it in on Ingram, who says no. Off the blocker of Connor Ingram. Draisaitl loses it in center ice. Seneke, Pindle on the boards. Draisaitl escapes the pack. Podkolzin gets around one man, takes it inside, loses it. Good stick by Trouba. Trouba back the other way for the Ducks. Good stick on the other end now. Up ahead, Kapanen. Kapanen fires. Dostal gloves it down with 12:33 to go in the period. Tied at 1 here in Edmonton. Been a great game to this point. Ducks scored the only goal in the first period. Edmonton has scored the only goal so far here in the second. Oilers win the faceoff. Bouchard tipped in the air. The rebound. Howard bobbles and gains control. On the point, Ekholm. Walked out in front. Outside, Bouchard. To the point, and Roslovic. Off a body again. Gauthier recovers the loose change. And it comes back out to center ice. Roslovic now turns back here for Edmonton. Squares it up behind the net. Tried to feed it in out in front. Henrique now, errant pass. And it goes all the way back down. Ingram settles it down back behind the net. Roslovic back through center ice here for the Oilers. Good defense by Anaheim on his way in. Allison gets hit and Dostal finds the loose puck. Stops play with 11:22 to go in the period. Face-off controlled in on net, and Dostal just covers again. McDavid wins the face-off. Emberson squares it up. Dostal, another save. $11:10 to go. McDavid wins another face-off. Stastny never got a clean shot off. And it's taken over by Anaheim, who just send it down. This will be icing. Just get it out of harm's way for a moment. 10:57 to go in the period. Face-off controlled again by Edmonton. Emberson wide of the net. Let's back out to the near side. Nugent Hopkins out in front. McDavid blocked out off a body in front. Nugent Hopkins hits the deck. And Nestorenko back through center. Zellweger. Terry with a bobble. Goes into the corner. Granlund now. Denied by Ingram. Into the trapezoid where Nugent Hopkins is there. Granlund takes it away. Out in front. A bobble in on Ingram, who finds the puck. Just about halfway through this second period. In a tie game at 1. Face-off control by Edmonton. Podkolzin takes a big hit. Over halfway through this second period now from Edmonton. Been a good one. Kapanen behind the back and a bobble by Draisaitl. Back out to the point and Regula sends it in. Tip try, never got through. Seneke bobbles his way into center ice. Taken away by Edmonton. Seneke takes it back away. Here he comes. Seneke tried to drop it off. Good cut off by Darnell Nurse. In back behind the net. Kreider now. Pestered by Podkolzin. Kreider gets knocked down. McTavish into the corner. Regula escapes the pack and Edmonton clears. Here's Kapanen. 3-on-2. Nurse walks it in. Wide of the net. Might have hit a body out in front. Darnell Nurse to the point and Regula. Good stick, and it comes back out to center ice. Edmonton just feeds it into the zone. Macomb Pindle on the boards. Close to the other side for Trouba. Anaheim will get it out of harm's way. Good stick in center ice by Henrique. Roslovich now to Howard. Walks it in right side. Oh my. Right through the slot with bodies flying. Here's McTavish on the other end. Ekholm brings it back out for Edmonton. Floats back into the Oiler end. To the near side, Henrique. Into the Anaheim end. Savoy to Howard. A shot off a body. Good stick. Out in front. And it comes back out to center again to Nestorenko. Sends it in on Ingram. Goes wide of the net. Sits back behind in the trapezoid. Bouchard picks out the loose change. Long time without a whistle here. Nugent Hopkins squares it up. Poked into the trapezoid where Gudas is there. Henrique takes it away, keeps it in the zone, flips it in deep. Nugent Hopkins floats it over to Stastny. Emberson now inside Nugent Hopkins. Backtracks and fires off a body. And it stays, nope, goes out of the zone. Long time without a whistle here. A lot of winded skaters out there on the ice. Savoy up ahead to Hyman. Hyman brings it in, cuts inside, never got a shot off. Emberson now denied by Dostal. And finally a stoppage with under 6 minutes to go in the second. Face-off control by Anaheim. Penalty's going to be called here. This one's on Edmonton. Johnston will bring it up. Empty net for the Ducks. Extra skater in. Emberson touches it. And a power play upcoming here for Anaheim. Cross-checking will be the call on Matthew Savoy. Take a look. Yep, there it is, right in front of the official. Savoy gets called for cross-checking. Doesn't appear to appeal it too much. And a 2-minute power play here for Anaheim, looking to take the lead back. Face-off controlled by the Oilers. Ekholm tried to flip it out. They work it back in their own end. Flipped out a play by Nugent Hopkins. 9 seconds into the penalty. There's Connor McDavid and his numbers. Already 5 points in these playoffs, and they've only played 1.5 games. Edmonton down a man. Brings it up shorthanded. McDavid on the doorstep. Goes wide. Sends it in out in front. Kapanen never got through. Shorthanded attack there for Edmonton. Here's McTavish, who scores the only goal in the game for Anaheim. Back out to Lacombe. Carlson now in on Ingram. Minute 20 to go in the power play. Oilers win the faceoff. Darnell Nurse flips it down the length of the ice. Under 5 minutes to go in the period, just over a minute to go on the Savoy penalty. Terry brings it up, now Kreider with it. Circles around. Inside and a bobble. Good stick by Regula. Tries to get it out of the zone, and they do. 50 seconds to go in the power play. Good defense by Nugent Hopkins, and he clears. Race for the puck. Majapani there first. Tried to send it in out in front. And good defense by Kreider. 30 seconds to go on the man advantage. Cutter Gauthier with a bobble on his way in. Darnell Nurse will get there. Oilers wasting time on this power play. Nugent Hopkins flips it to the far side. 6 seconds to go on the power play. Kreider brings it up, drops it off. McTavish, a shot up the pipe, and it deflects just wide. My goodness. Right as the power play expires, a ringer for McTavish. And the Oilers are back to full strength. Oilers gain control in their own end. Draisaitl up ahead. Here he comes. Draisaitl denied. And it comes into the corner. McDavid back to Draisaitl. Whiffed. And Anaheim gains control. Couple good chances on both ends of the ice. McTavish with a whiff. Turns it over to McDavid. Lazar and him bring it up. Diving attempt out in front of the net. And Dostal was all over it. Couple good saves by Dostal. Another diving attempt down in front of the net for Edmonton. They've tried that a couple times in this game, and both of them have almost worked. What an effort. Playoff hockey, man. It'll bring it out. Face-off control by Anaheim. Harkins feeds it in. Circles around to Stastny here for Edmonton. Here's McDavid. McDavid pestered from behind. Stastny keeps it alive though, pinned along the boards. Anaheim escapes. Hellison turns it over to Emberson. Here's McDavid along the far boards. McDavid crunched and turns it over. Under 2 minutes to go in the period, tied at 1. Here in game 2. Johnston drops it off. A bobble and a save by Ingram. Ducks win the face-off. Off a body in front. Howard back through center ice here for Edmonton. Howard brings it up the far side. Circles in back behind the net. Comes all the way around. Ekholm. Howard into the slot. A shot denied. The rebound controlled by Harkins. And Anaheim will get it out. A stick in center on Johnston. Ekholm turns back. We're under a minute to go. Ekholm waits for his friends. Got crunched. Anaheim takes it away. Roslovic keeps it in the zone. Hellison right there, though. Oilers trying to keep it on this side. Gauthier has other ideas. 25 seconds to go in the period. Here's Henrique. Walks it in, drops it off on the point. Ekholm now to Howard, who bobbles. Gets it back and saved by Dostal on the point. 4 seconds to go. Gauthier with the block out in front. And Poling back out to center ice will kill off the rest of the second period. We've got a good one a-brewing. Oilers find the equalizer early in the period, and we're tied at 1. To the third we go. Start of the third period here in Edmonton, and we are deadlocked. One apiece. One goal for each team. Anaheim scored their only goal in the first. Edmonton scored their only goal in the second. What will the third period hold? We'll find out right now. Gauthier floats it on a flip and follow to the corner. Bouchard all over it as Hyman turns back here for Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins to the far side. Centering pass. McDavid off a body in front. Nugent Hopkins back behind the net. Bindle on the boards. Floats it out to Bouchard. To the point in Ekholm. Ekholm fires. Tipped around. Into the slot. Saved Dostal. And Trouba gains the rebound back out to center ice. Good defense by Hyman. On his way back in. Bouchard gets it out to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins tried to float it in deep. Bindle on the boards on the near half wall. Floats back out into neutral ice. Ekholm to Regula, who brings it in. He gets hit from behind, no whistle. They play on. Killorn brings it up. Looking for a drop-off. Good stick by Nugent Hopkins. And it comes back out to neutral ice. Kapanen will bring it up. Cuts inside. Dostal the save, and he sprawls out to cover the puck. 17:59 to go in the third. 2 minutes gone by here in this period as we take a look at Connor Ingram, who's had a heck of a night tonight. Both of these goaltenders have had really good nights. Scores around the NHL in real life with games going on right now. The Stars still trail the Wild 3-2 with 13:47 to go in regulation time from Minnesota. And the other game in Edmonton has the Ducks leading 4-3 in what is turning into a shootout game in Edmonton. Anaheim with the lead 4-3 in real life. Nurse, Draisaitl off the body in front. Far side Seneke can't handle. Kapanen trying to keep it alive. Podkolzin now. Cuts inside. Good stick. Nurse, tip try. Dostal never let it through. Draisaitl now on the doorstep. Edmonton a couple tries down low. Another takeaway. Goes in wide of the net. Anaheim gains control. And they'll finally get it out of harm's way. Kreider pestered through neutral ice by Draisaitl. Majapani across the red line. Edmonton changes. Majapani brings it up. And Dostal makes another save with 16:40 to go. Edmonton outshooting Anaheim 36-23 in this game. Dostal has been outstanding in between the pipes for the Ducks. As both of these goaltenders go at it, one of these teams looking to break through to give their team the lead. Nesterenko pestered on his way in. Terry keeps it alive. Terry drops it off. Good pick off by Howard. Henrique back through neutral ice, sends it around. First guy to it is Granlund for Anaheim. Terry pestered, turns it over to Henrique. Henrique has the puck on the near side. Centering pass and a save. Dostal, the rebound, goes out wide. To the point, Emberson. Pestered by Terry, who takes it away. Here comes Terry, cut off by Howard. Roslovich tried to drop it off. Anaheim will gain control in their own end. Kept alive. Granlund now takes it away. Granlund brings it up, drops it off for Terry. Bobbles to the outside, back out to neutral ice. Race for the puck is won by Howard. Cuts inside, drops it off Stastny. A shot tipped wide of the net. Goes into the trapezoid, and Lacombe able to clear out the loose change for Terry. Other side, Carlson. Carlson, good stick by Stastny. Just trading turnovers at this point here in Edmonton. Fed in deep into the zone. Circles around for Harkins. Comes back to the near side and Lazar. Lazar back behind, comes all the way through, and a penalty. Penalty called on Anaheim. Interference on Jacob Trouba. Let's take a look. Kind of lowered his shoulder and circled around. Interference to call. And a 2-minute power play here for Edmonton in the third, trying to take the lead. Face-off controlled by the Oilers on net. Dostal with the save. And Poling gets it out of the zone. Draisaitl right back in. Floats it in wide of the net. Rebound Zellweger. Off the boards and out. And all the way down it comes. McDavid will win the race for the puck. Poling was right there on his hip. Here's Zach Hyman. Hyman centers to Draisaitl. A shot. Knocked down Dostal. Hyman now escapes. Fires a shot saved. The rebound comes out wide. Just over a minute to go on the power play. Anaheim clears. 1 minute to go on the penalty. Poling takes it away for Anaheim. Draisaitl floats it in deep for Helleson. Poling now. Pindle on the boards. Gudas escapes. Bouchard cuts him off. Keeps it alive. Gudas right through the crease. Anaheim on the attack, shorthanded. Poling, shot, tipped wide of the net. McDavid gets there and sends it back out. 19 seconds to go on the power play. Mangiapane, denied, Dostal. Goes to the far side, Podkolzin, cuts to the net. Dostal with another save. Zellweger gets there, 5 seconds to go on the penalty. Podkolzin to Mangiapane. Ducks back to full strength. Regula shot off of Dostal again. Mangiapane back out to the point. Oilers on the attack. Regula off a body. Never got through. McDavid off another body into the slot. Loose puck available. Goes out wide. And Johnston will get it out. My goodness. Podkolzin will bring it back out through center ice. Offside on Savoy. Reflex, I started my own tournament. I'm not doing it based off of real life. I started my own tournament. I'm not basing this off of real life because you can't really do that. You can't like force winners or anything in this. Just doing it for fun, buddy. Just over 11 minutes to go here in the third. Still tied at 1 here in Edmonton. Game 2. McTavish, who has the lone goal tonight for the Ducks, feeds it in around. Henrique gains control here for the Oilers. Feeds it in deep. First guy to it is Helleson. Here for Anaheim. Seneke turns it over to Howard. He takes a hit. And it floats back into the Anaheim end. Just about halfway through this third period, still tied at 1. Nurse off a skate out in front into the slot, and Anaheim gets it out. Here's Kreider. Kreider brings it in, fires a shot, saved. Ingram. Halfway through this third period. Savoy into the trapezoid, kicks it over to Mangiapane, out in front. Never got through. Nestorenko pinned along the boards by Savoy. He escapes. Anaheim works it in their own end. Terry back out through neutral ice. Terry drops it off. Trouba down below the goal line, out in front. Nestorenko takes it in on Ingram. He never got a shot off. Emberson back the other way here for the Oilers. Good defense by Nestorenko. Savoy brings it in. Loses it on the slot. Big hit behind the play. Draisaitl gains control in neutral ice. Here's Nugent Hopkins who turns it over. Trading turnovers back and forth. Nestorenko whiffed on the shot. Good stick from behind. Draisaitl was all over it again. Here's Hyman. He turns it over. And it floats in back on Dostal, feeds it out to Lacombe, and it comes back out to center. Emberson walks it back in here for the Oilers. Emberson denied. Dostal in back behind the net. Poked away by Dostal. Draisaitl back out to the point and all the way through. Errant pass goes all the way back down. On Ingram, who covers. 7:33 to go in regulation time. And it's anybody's game. Bouchard poked into the corner by Carlson. Sends it in out in front, and Gauthier never got it off. And Bouchard with an errant pass will result in no icing. They wave it off, and a stick by Dostal. Kapanen never got a shot up. Just trading turnovers back and forth. Under 7 minutes to go regulation. Killorn slows it down for a moment. Trouba feeds it in deep behind the net. Ekholm there for the Oilers. Lacombe backtracks. Kapanen takes it away. Kapanen off a stick. Anaheim gains control in their own end. Deeper into the Ducks zone now, back behind for Lacombe. Here's Cutter Gauthier. Up ahead to Carlson. Poke to the near side, another turnover. McDavid up ahead, Nugent Hopkins, split defenders, breakaway, score! Ryan Nugent Hopkins gives the Oilers the lead, 2-1 here in the third period. What a pass by McDavid, and Nugent Hopkins splits defenders, yet another assist for Connor McDavid. He's got 6 points through the first 2 games of this series. And Edmonton takes their first lead here tonight. Somehow got it through on Dostal. About as tight as a gap as you could have. .548 to go and the Oilers are in front. Ryder back out to center with an errant pass. Comes all the way down for icing. 5:28 to go in the third, and all of a sudden, the momentum on the Oilers' side. They're out shooting Anaheim 44-24. 2-1 lead here for Edmonton. Kreider brings it back through center. Anaheim looking for the equalizer. Kreider drops it off, picked off by Nugent Hopkins. Darnell Nurse brings it into the zone here for Edmonton. Off a skate out in front. Collision. And Seneke back through center ice. Under 5 minutes to go. Henrique turns back here for the Oilers. Henrique button hooks back, waits for his friends. A bobble to the far side. Howard there for Edmonton. Savoy can't keep it in. Nurse walks it back in. Here's Henrique. Whiffed on the shot, goes in back behind the net. Anaheim gains control, just over 4 minutes to go. Bobbled back into the Anaheim end. Ducks work it in their own end, now back out to center. Ellison gets his pocket picked. Ellison keeps it alive though, sends it in. Locked out in front by Nurse. And Savoy there for the loose change. Here's Henrique. Works it in the near side. Henrique back behind the net down low. Errant pass goes all the way back down. Stastny wins the race for the puck. Roslovic back up to Henrique. Henrique walks it in. Hellison with a good stick. 3 minutes to go. Here in regulation, 1-goal lead for the Oilers. McTavish, who has the lone goal tonight for the Ducks, flips it in. Emberson there for Edmonton. Emberson brings it up himself. Here's Henrique now. Outside Howard. Errant pass controlled by Anaheim. Picked off in center by Stastny. Time quickly becoming a factor here on the Ducks. Harkins takes it away. He feeds it in deep. Allows for a change. Nestorenko Drops it off to no man's land. Roslovic there, here for the Oilers. Under 2 minutes to go in regulation. Nestorenko. Harkins off a body and just wide off of Ingram. Majapani gains control. Here's Draisaitl through center ice. Draisaitl gets crunched. Kept alive by Podkolzin. Back to Draisaitl. Picked off out in front. Podkolzin now back behind. One-timer, score! Oh, what a bullet! Regula puts it in, and it's a 2-goal lead for Edmonton late in the third. A bullet past Dostal. And the insurance goal for the Oilers, looking to take a 2-0 series lead. Dostal never saw it coming. Bodies out in front. Majapani set up the screen. And it's a 2-goal lead for Edmonton. The Oilers take control here late in the third. 2-goal lead. Anaheim only down to just over a minute remaining. Podkolzin, Heipanen, never got a clean shot off. And now Anaheim needs a lot of things to go their way very fast. They empty their net. Extra skater in here for the Ducks. Ekholm takes it away. Heipanen to the empty net, just wide. Bowling gains control. We're under a minute to go. Johnston brings it up here for the Ducks. Back behind for Terry. 6 skaters in here for Anaheim. 40 seconds to go. Harkins spins off a body. Terry now on the doorstep. Ingram holds his ground. Back out to the point. Tipped into the grasp of Ingram with 34 seconds left. Face-off controlled by Edmonton. Here's Nugent Hopkins, eyeing his second goal of the game, just wide again. 26 seconds to go here in the third. Anaheim trails by 2. Edmonton eyeing down a 2-0 series lead. Cutter Gauthier bobbles on his way in. Gauthier flips it in, and Ingram denies with 12 seconds left. And I think it's too little too late here for the Ducks. Face-off control by Anaheim. Walked out in front. A bobble top of the slot. Bouchard. Here's McDavid. Taken away in neutral ice, but it won't matter. Final seconds wind down, and the Oilers take a 2-0 series lead here over the Ducks. Very entertaining game here from Edmonton tonight. We were deadlocked for most of that third period. And then in the final few minutes, the Oilers break away for a 2-goal lead and a 2-goal win. 3-1 the final score here from Edmonton. And the Oilers have a 2-0 series lead going back on the road to Anaheim. The dagger by Regula late. The bullet leads to a 3-1 Oiler victory.